Welcome back again, my friends, to the show that has no ends. Well, has no beginning at this point. I'm Boba the Vulture. This is Let's Play. Well, is it Let's Play? This is F1 Manager 22. We're still just getting oriented in the game, going through all the various bits and pieces and such. And I'm not in a hurry, and hopefully that doesn't deter you. And if it does deter you, I completely understand. No need to leave negative comments. I mean, if you do, okay, that's that's your decision to spend your time and energy doing such. But I'm just going through and looking at things right now. This is literally the first day. This is almost to me like when you start up Extreme Warfare Revenge. Anybody remember the basically just menu-driven pro wrestling management sim, or booking sim that I played many years back? Like the first day, you're just looking around at like all the wrestlers that are out there in the market, and what are all the competitors doing, and what is everybody up to, and like this is so far is just doing that, and I'm just sort of taking a break every approximately half hour. So that's going to be home. So we already looked at home. I see. So I just hit one of the R buttons by accident. That took us around. So let's take a look at the next race. This is the drivers. Let's look at our staff.
It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here, from department heads to your pit crew, and keep up to date on their performance.
Yeah, I kind of want to make sure that we've got good technical staff here, because I think we are going to really need to develop our car, because our car is below average in every respect right now, and you can't expect to be doing well in Formula One if your car can't do anything well. So I want to make sure that our technical staff is pretty good. But our technical chief, Francois Javier de Maison, he's 53 years old. He has more outlets. Okay. He has 3 years on his contract. He has an overall rating of 74. Our staff earned development after gaining enough experience. Experience to next level. Okay, so they gain experience weekly and receive experience boost from the team hub. Yeah, see, I want to get that team hub going, I think, because I would like everybody to be able to sort of work on projects. But yeah, so has above average, sort of in the top third, at least in every sort of respect for. These all seem to be mostly about aerodynamics, and I think that's because they're not anticipating you being at least for this team and for many teams, they're not manufacturing their own engines. They have a deal with an engine supplier, so it's not like they're trying to figure out like, oh, okay, can I build a good engine? He has a 3-year contract. As well, he's the head of aerodynamics. The ability to optimize aerodynamic design of your car parts that improve the DRS delta, which is the speed boost. Higher rating means a greater bonus when designing car parts that affect the DRS delta, and that's one of his weaker suits. High-speed downforce is maybe the lowest thing, so he can't make a car that generates downforce at high speed, which is a difficult thing to do, I suppose. You can make a car that will achieve high speeds, but mainly the way that you do that is by trimming away downforce, because that's pushing the car, like that's created, downforce inherently creates drag. Yeah, anyway. Our race engineer, he has a 4-year contract. He's paired up with Alex Albon. His overall rating is 77. As far as, like, we have good race engineers. Pit crew management, he's good at running his pit crew. He's good at communicating. The ability to give and understand feedback on the car setup during practice sessions. That's going to be important too. He has a low affinity with Alex Albon because they just got started working together. Yeah, so they don't really know each other very well. Hopefully they will develop a nice rapport. Gaetan Jago has 3 years on his contract. He has 4 years. He has 3 years. He is of a similar skill level, maybe slightly more balanced. But he and Nicholas Latifi, they're bros. So hopefully that'll help those two. Although Latifi already seemed... Albon's skills seem to indicate to me that he's going to be a fairly calm driving presence. Here's hoping, anyways. I remember reading someplace that he likes to meditate before races. He's so... I mean, I guess if Nicholas Latifi is going to be the pride of Canada, he may be Zerf. But I guess Alex Albon is going to be... he's from Thailand, which would mean that he would be like Sagat or something. But really, he's going to be like Dalsim because he's going to meditate and then destroy people on the track. So there we go. Already, even though these people are existing people that have personalities of their own, we could create new ones here. But that's all good to know. Development... Facilities.
From here, you can see all the team's facilities, from the staff buildings to the car park development centres. You can build new facilities or, if the team has the time and money, upgrade our existing ones. Facilities affect all areas of our team's performance.
So the building, the team's facilities impact every area of your team, from the quality of your car to the rate your drivers improve. Building new facilities takes time and money, and all facilities have a monthly upkeep cost you need to budget for. Existing facilities can be upgraded. Upgrading will also increase their monthly upkeep. Facility upgrades are expensive and take a long time to complete. But yes, these are going to be big projects. Over time, facilities will degrade and their effectiveness will be reduced. Refurbishing facilities will restore their effectiveness to J maximum. Upgrading a facility will also restore it back to full condition, but with the additional upgrade cost. So there you go. I guess upgrading will cost more, but it will improve the facilities. Refurbishing will just bring it back to its original condition without any additional benefit. But, you know, maybe that's what you gotta do.
Over time, facilities will degrade and become less effective, so keep an eye on their condition. When this happens, we'll need to look at refurbishing or even upgrading that facility to get back to maximum efficiency.
So the way to do this on the cheap, in theory, would be wait, get as much as you can out of any existing facility. By the way, if you hear noises, that is Remy purring loudly in my face. But to wait until facilities have degraded and not become, and have sort of like lost their, sort of lost their shine, and then just upgrading them rather than just rehabbing them. So I imagine the way to do that on the cheap, we may need to focus on doing things on the cheap a little bit. I would love to make a team hub or upgrade our team hub. Need to see what it's currently like though. Because if you look at it, our total monthly upkeep is already $1.6 million, and we only have a little shy of $20 million in our operating budget. So think about that. That gets us through the year without any other infusion of cash. That just gets us through this year, and then we're done, basically. But let's look at the car development facilities. There's the factory. It's in good condition. It has its maximum effectiveness. Its monthly upkeep is a little over $500,000. They can build 3 parts at a time, and they can develop things at a bonus of 6%, I guess, to whatever the baseline time is. The design center. We don't really know what its condition and effectiveness is, I guess, because we have to set research goals first, probably. Car part design. They can design 2 new parts at a time. They can engineer 10. Okay. Not sure what the distinction and differences are there. Whew. If we wanted to upgrade that, it would cost us $11.5 million. So, like, we would already be out of all of our money. So we're not going to be able to do upgrades, it looks like. We have a pretty crappy wind tunnel. We have a pretty crappy computational fluid dynamics simulator, which is interesting because it's basically like a wind tunnel, except it's being simulated. Suspension simulator. Test suspension handling against different surface types. And I wonder if they're just talking about computer simulations here, or if they're talking about the actual, like, literal, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but like those rigs where they basically just put the car up on its wheel hubs and just like shake it around a bunch. Like they have pistons that just like bop the wheels up and down. And then the car part test center. Test and optimize aerodynamic car parts within your team's car parts and expertise. All right. What about the staff facilities? These don't cost very much to upkeep. Maybe that'll mean they won't cost much to upgrade. That'd be nice. The team hub, it costs 63 grand to put together in a month. It makes our team more attractive and it increases our morale. And we gain an extra 20% weekly experience. The scouting department. This is where we get our scouters. So we basically have a team of people that go to races with a little screen over one of their eyes with a device that's attached to their ear. And they say, "Hey, Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his passing level?" And that's what we do. Right now we have 2 scouts. And the race simulator, they gain 20% experience from their simulator. These are all the lowest possible levels. Team hub. It would only cost $1.5 million to upgrade this. It would increase the monthly upkeep a lot. It would double the weekly experience gain. It wouldn't change the morale any. And it would be a big boost to our team attractiveness. Scouting department, basically it would just mean that we would be able to have another scout out there, and it would cost a lot more to... No, I don't need to do that. What about if we boosted the racing simulator? That would increase our driver experience. That would double our weekly experience gain for our drivers. But it would cost $2 million. Team hub would cost $1.5 million. And it would build up our staff as opposed to building up our drivers. We're going to need to do both. So this is a minor point, but that van up there looks very much like a Chevy Express, which I don't think they sell in the UK. Whatever. Then our operational facilities, which are... They manage the board and the VIPs and all VIP stuff. Okay. Hold on just a second. Whew. Sorry about that. So, can we make a cooler boardroom? Race confidence. So that will make the board more confident in me, and it will make the team slightly more attractive to people. The hospitality, we would have Hospitaliano. The weather sentry. But yes, it would develop our accuracy so that we're better able to predict the weather during race times. inaccurate forecast makes race day strategy planning much more difficult. We don't have a helipad. Provides a luxury helicopter landing space to offer first-class experience for our most important guests. That would increase our sponsor targets payout. Memorabilia room. We've got a good memorabilia room because we have we can inspire our staff that way. That increases everybody's morale. The tour center. We have a good tour center. Shows off our facilities and boosts our income by offering fans a backstage glimpse at our team's inner workings. That's nice. Apparently the fanciest facility we have out of all of our facilities is the visitor center. It does increase our weekly income. You know what? I was mocking it, but if all it does is generate money, and it generates more money than its weekly income, then great. Obviously, it's not increasing our funds that much, 23 grand every week, but still.
Don't forget to check in with the board often. You can monitor board confidence levels, your available budget, and your progress towards a greater team rating from here.
Yeah. So they're the owners. They provide a budget for each season based on the targets they want B to meet. It's worth checking their confidence. Me throughout the season to measure just how well I'm doing as team principal. Hold on just a second. Okay. So, what is the board's confidence in me? So far, they're satisfied because I haven't done anything, but it's my first day. Long-term objective: score points in half of the season's races. Current progress is 0 of 11 because, of course, we have not done any races yet. So, there's 11 races in the season, I guess. Or, no, there's 22 races in the season. So I need to be able to make 50%. Season objective 9th or above. Our current position is 8th, so yay, we're already crushing it. And the board budget. See an overview of the budget the board has assigned. Set me a budget for the season based on their season target. Some of this budget will be paid at the start of the season and the rest is paid monthly. Okay, so we are going to get more money, so maybe I will be able to develop some of the facilities that I was interested in. I was worried that we were going to have to make that 19 million stretch the entire season. Our season budget will be overall 50 million. And I don't know if we already have our initial payment here or if we're going to get 6 million when we advance time. Our team rating. We are established because our team rating is 467. It is a measure of how well our team has done in recent years. Higher the team rating, the greater the expectations the board and sponsors will have. It will be easier to get the best talents. Based on team results in the last 4 championships. They also have a heritage bonus based on how many championships they've entered and how many they've won. So established, we're basically coasting on reputation here, on long-term reputation, because our results in recent years have been trash. Constructors' results, yeah, have been at the bottom, except on 2021. But we were last in 18, 19, and 20. Which again, I think 20 is when Claire Williams left. So, drivers' results, we've not had anything great going on there. We have a high heritage score because we have been in 45 seasons in Formula One and won 7 world championships. So that's where much of our earnings are going. I mean, I guess in theory 64 is only... The heritage score doesn't count for much. All right. Browse statistics and achievement for my time as team principal so far. This should be pretty well empty. Yeah. The regs. How much design experience my engineering team has gained? Oh, the team loses design experience because their technical regulation changes. It doesn't mean that they get dumber. It just means that they have new regulations to adapt to. So basically, it will take them time to come to grips with any regulation changes. Financial cost cap. Oh, that's right. There's a cost cap in F1 now. It limits all spending on anything that may impact a car's performance. The only time that a team may break the cost cap is if they need to make an emergency purchase, but it will incur a fine. So there you go. This is the share of the prize money that each constructor is entitled to based on their position. It's paid out monthly. So if we are in 8th position, we're getting 40 million just for turning up. It goes all the way down to 35 if we are in 10th position. So okay, we're going to get more money. Pole position bonus points. We don't have any. Oh, yes. Okay. So yes, these are the rules. So we don't have bonus points for pole. We do have bonus points for bonus point for fastest lap, and we do not have double points for the last race. That is a regulation that they tried for a little while. I guess they've gotten rid of it. Now the points allocation is going to be, here you go. I was saying they award points down to 10th. So there you go. You can see 25, they obviously award winning the most. It's also the largest gap because they want to be like, come on, race for a win, guys. And then they sort of taper down. 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, then 1. They're not changing the point structure for 2023. And then aerodynamic testing is limited to a certain number of hours across the entire season, spread across several periods. So this is how many hours each constructor is entitled to based on their position. So this is interesting. It's a sort of flip. We're actually kind of hurt here in comparison to our lower position bros because we do not get as much testing time. When you get up to 8th, you only get, I guess, 6. And then if you get all the way up to 5th from there, you get down to 5. And then if you're one of the top 2 teams, you only get 4. Interesting. Wind tunnel! Oh, who is it that had the wind tunnel ability? Some guy in was it any? No, the wind tunnel guy wasn't in any. I forget. Anyways, aerodynamic testing limits. We could do 84 hours. Oh, okay, so this is like. But again, these are the ways that they try and sort of like help teams that are struggling and keep competition close. By helping people be able to reach the same abilities as the upper stratosphere folks. Now this means we'll be able to run a lot more wind tunnel time or whatever than, Mercedes, but that also means that I guess all the money that they've got, they can, instead of spending it on wind tunnel testing, they go build up their facilities or something else. I don't know. Gearbox limit. The number of gearboxes each team is allowed to use. Using more than this will incur a penalty. So we can use 4. We can use 2 energy recovery systems, and we can use 3 engines across the season. So if we have engines like constantly blowing up, if we have really unreliable engines, we have to keep replacing them. Not only are we going to have to keep buying those engines or manufacturing those engines or manufacturing the gearboxes or whatever, we're also going to get financial penalties for it. So reliability is going to be important. Our finances.
You can delve deeper into team finances and see our balance, as well as understanding information on income and rewards, and the enforced spending caps we have to abide by.
So, review our overall financial income and spending. So it's interesting, January and February, like you start in March because that's leading up to the first race, but they sort of have already put together, this is the amount of money that you've gotten monthly already. So projected income and outgoings include any incomes as well as ones the team have already committed to making, like paying salaries. Contains all the money spent this season on building, maintaining, and upgrading the facilities. Oh yeah, so there's that little bit that's coming in from there's our sponsor payments. We're getting $13.5 million from sponsors. Sponsor base rates. We don't have any sponsor incentives. Well, we haven't gotten any sponsor incentives yet because we haven't competed in any. The entry fees are, considering everything else, pretty minimal. They're less than $1 million. Our engine deal costs us $20 million. We haven't incurred any fines yet. The board is giving us money. We have just shy of $10 million in prize money so far. Those are the monthly installments from January and February, I guess. And so, month to month, our balance should be, appears to be $6 million in the black. Our projection. Driver contracts, not that much. Projected spending season to end. They're in the black. Car development, sponsor payment. So prize money, recurring outgoings, drivers, staff, and facilities. So again, our projected monthly balance right now is going to be 4.6 million up. So maybe the thing I want to spend on right now is facilities until we can get a chance to start long-term development when the new regulations come out for 2023. That's what I think I'd like to do. Oh wait, there was another tab here. Oh, you can look at the last 30 days, but obviously we haven't done anything yet, so on the cost cap. What we have done so far is we haven't had any emergency purchases. So car part development and car part research, those things come under the cost cap. It does not appear that facility spending comes under the cost cap. So if I was concerned about remaining under the cost cap, I would want to stuff all that money into facilities, which I'm sure is what the top teams are doing at this point. Like they basically already have enough of a budget to be able to spend the maximum on car part development and high staff salaries and things like that. And so they've got extra money set aside too, and they'll just sort of throw all that at making the fanciest factory they can, or making the fanciest, break room in the world. Our projections here. Anyways, and our sponsorships. Sponsor events we're committed to completing this season. Merchandising. We must create merchandise featuring our sponsors. Paying to have that merchandise made requires an upfront cost. Selling it will increase our sponsor income per race. The race simulator's weekly experience boost is reduced if you have a race simulator spent, because we are hosting sponsor events in our simulator. The drivers won't be able to use the simulators while we're hosting the event, so they won't gain the boost experience. So basically, this is a thing where like we're showing off, hey, check out our cool race simulator. Executives of this company who's sponsoring us. Meanwhile, the drivers are just like sitting around kicking cans outside. Well, no, they're like shaking hands with everybody and like showing them like, here, these are the buttons on the steering wheel. This is how you use it, which of course isn't gaining them anything other than the money. Race Hospitaliano. Your team must host a sponsor event in the pit box during races. It will distract your crew and slightly reduce their performance. You have to do that 15 times a year. Each race day. Okay, so it has to be on a race day too. That's terrible. Host a sponsored event in the memorabilia room. The facility will be closed while hosting, so staff will not gain the usual morale boost from the memorabilia room. Well, okay. It's not the worst thing. Driver appearances. One or both of your drivers must make media appearances throughout the season. It's great publicity, but drivers won't gain experience on the week of each appearance. I mean, I guess they're not breaking down day by day, but it's still like you should be able to do something. Like if you've got to go to like the executive offices of Duracell or whatever and like show up. Oh, you're making media appearances. Well, okay, so like if you have to go do an interview, you should be able to do that in the morning, and then in the afternoon, like go hop in the simulator. Or if you have to go to their studio or whatever, you should be able to like try. Even if that's like you take a day to travel out to the U.S. overseas from where they're based and talk to people on TV. Like you take a day to travel there, a day to do the interview, and a day to fly back. You still got 2 days left in the work week that you could do stuff. I'm already cracking the whip, apparently. And our standings. Obviously, we don't have much in the realm of standings. I really want to build up this team hub. It'll give my staff a big experience boost, and it will increase everybody's morale. And the team hub is not something that is affected by these sponsor requirements. It's not that much money. And the additional cost to maintain goes from 63 to 88,000. Let's do it. Construction can't be canceled once it's started. We're upgrading the team hub, everybody. Alright, so I think we've looked at everything here, right? I do wish I could just, there we go. To continue. "11 days. So we can't do anything else in that time?
It's no longer your first day. We'll have you on top of things in no time. You'll continue moving through days this way until it's time for the race, which you can see in the upcoming events list. It's good to get in the habit of regularly checking that list. Let's take a look at what needs doing today. You have an alert in the top corner. There's an important email awaiting a response, so you should check your inbox when you're ready.
Okay. In 2 days, we're going to have preseason testing results. See, can I fast forward to that rather than fast forwarding to the race weekend? I would like to see what our testing results look like. Anyways, our inbox. Okay, so 3 days ago, 2 days ago, yesterday, and today. So, yesterday. Good morning, Bobo. Allow me to introduce you to Francois Javier and David. They will lend their expertise to new car design projects and help us build a competitive car this season. Sponsor obligations. Good morning, Bobo. I just realized that you joined the team a little too late to negotiate our sponsor obligations for the season. Sponsors is a big source of income for all the F1 teams, but love is best when it's a two-way street. I remember a three-way street with your wife at the library. Girl, that's Spood 11. Wait a second. I need to go back to that email. Darn it. I hit the wrong
Looks
button.
like you've received a budget approval request. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season, plus whatever we get from last season's prize money, and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn.
All right, but yes, so love is best known as a two-way street. When negotiating sponsorship deals at the start of the season, we need to offer certain obligations on our side, like creating merchandise that feature our sponsors or hosting sponsor events in our factory throughout the season. They can be a little inconvenient for the team, but they secure the funding that keeps us competitive. We can check the calendar to see when our obligations will be happening. I'll put a link to sponsor obligations that we're committed to. We can negotiate them for ourselves next season. Here we go. We've had an idea for a season kickoff party to bring everybody together to celebrate the team. We'll need a budget approval if we want to go ahead with it. This is Marina Zalap, a personnel officer, and she wants to spend 10 grand on a party, which I feel like I could do it for less myself. Just go get a cake from Costco, and you know, some cookies, some of those little sandwich rolls. But that's okay. We'll approve this party request because it'll get everybody's morale up. And right now, everybody's kind of like mid-ground. I want to get them a little bit more psyched about the year. So yes, how much does it improve them?
Good decision. It should keep the team in high spirits anyway.
Well, of course you're going to say that, Audrey.
Now that's dealt with, we can focus on our first Grand Prix of the season. The race weekend is still a few days away, so move forward when you're ready.
Okay, is there anything else that's changed? Well, I guess let's look at the calendar. All right, well, anyways, let's take a look at the... See, now everybody's in high spirits. They've all got that high energy. Woo! Have any of the facilities degraded any? No, not in 2 days. All right, so I guess let's continue forward to the race weekend, although maybe I will set that up as something to do next time. Well, let's go ahead and fast forward to it, and from there, I'm sure she will tell us something, and then we can...
There's always some final work to do before we can set off. Check your inbox for the race prep report on this weekend's circuit.
There you go. We've already got something that we'll want to do. And we'll want to do it next time, like I said. Anyhow, this is Bobo the Vulture. We're poking around at F1 Manager 2022. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.